KGW News Special Edition.
Portland's Oak Park is back open Saturday, save for one ride. Thanks for joining us for this special edition newscast. I'm John Adams. The ride named Atmosphere is closed until further notice. It's after a terrifying incident happened Friday afternoon when the ride malfunctioned, leaving 28 people trapped upside down for close to 30 minutes, 100 feet in the air. One person was taken to the hospital after they were rescued.
I couldn't, my mind was so out of it. I felt like I had myself lost. I don't even feel like myself. I definitely feel like a different person actually now because I feel thankful.
I definitely have a different outlook on life now. Upside down, hundreds of feet in the air. The only thing I could think is I'm never gonna hug my dad and my brother again.
Oaks Park says the Atmosphere has been in operation since 2021 and until now without incident. It's closed indefinitely as the manufacturer and inspectors try to figure out what went wrong. On Friday, a former ICU nurse pled not guilty to 44 counts of second-degree assault. Danny Marie Schofield, who worked at the Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center, is accused of switching out patients prescribed fentanyl for tap water. Investigators say this was over a span of more than a year and led to some patients developing infections. The judge set her bail at $4 million. She was also denied a court-appointed attorney. If she posts bail, she will go on pretrial probation.
No contact with any surviving victim or alleged victim, no intoxicants testing upon request, and no contact with Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center or any property unless for emergency services.
Schofield's next court date is June 24th. Police arrested 9 men on Tuesday following an anti-human trafficking mission in southeast Portland. It happened along Southeast 82nd Avenue. Officers also seized this stolen handgun and rescued a woman identified as missing from California. PPB's Victim Services Unit arranged transportation to reunite her with her family. Back in Portland police identified the Gresham woman killed in a February crash. Police say 75-year-old Bonnie Hine died after her vehicle was hit from behind. Officers arrived to find her dead at the scene. PPB arrested the other driver, 22-year-old Maria Mancata. They claim she was impaired in speeding when she collided with Haynes' car. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says a 17-year-old girl remains in the hospital with serious injuries following a crash earlier this week along the gorge. It happened on Highway 30 Wednesday night around 10:30 near Shepherd's Dell. Deputies arrived to find the vehicle 150 feet down a ravine. The teen was life-flighted to an area hospital. Two others in the car, an 18-year-old and another 17-year-old, were okay. Investigators believe speed was a factor because the crash happened near a curve in the road. Well, turning now to weather, here's a live look outside this evening. And for mid-June, where we really got every kind of spring weather you could think of today. Showers, sunshine, thunderstorms, and even some snow in the Cascades. Here's meteorologist Joe Ranieri with a look at our Father's Day forecast. Hey, Joe.
Hey, good evening to you, John. Yeah, it's not uncommon to see some of these cold fronts drop down the snow levels down about 4,000 feet. That's what we saw earlier today. And up at Timberline Lodge, you've seen over 5 inches of snow in the last 24 hours. So as we look at the radar tonight, we are going to continue to see some spotty showers, but some of you might not see anything. You might be dry as a bone, and you're probably wondering, wait, there was thunderstorms and hail earlier today. There were some heavy showers in a few locations and some hail in a few spots as well. Those yellows and some oranges moving in along the foothills of the mountains. Those are those heavier cells that could be producing some thunderstorms this evening. And take a look at Timberline Lodge and Mount Hood Meadows. You've been seeing a good amount of snow showers, and here's evidence of that tonight with a temperature of 31 degrees. The snow level will be remaining right around 4,500 feet, and there's no watches and warnings because of the snow, but there is a freeze warning throughout parts of southern Oregon near Klamath Falls and Paisley and over in Lakeview. You'll be seeing pretty cold temperatures for this time of year. One place that won't be cold will be along the Oregon coast. Here's a live look now over in Lincoln City from our Chinook Winds beach camera. Temperature of 60 degrees. Expect to see a little bit more of the same heading into tomorrow, but I am tracking a warm up heading into the later part of next week. I'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, we'll see you in a few minutes later in the show. Ahead of a 3-day nurses strike at 6 Providence hospitals next week, it appears the tensions couldn't be higher. Providence has accused the union, the Oregon Nurses Association, of interfering with patient care by calling on other nurses not to accept contracts at the 6 hospitals, while the union is accusing Providence of violating Oregon's nurse-safe staffing law. Our Alma McCarty looks into the issue further.
Last week, the Oregon Nurses Association delivered its 10-day notice, alerting Providence that 3,000 members working at 6 hospitals would strike for 3 days, starting this Tuesday at 6 a.m.
A strike is a very, very, very serious action.
This comes after 6 months of bargaining. Nurses asking for better pay, a better nurse-to-patient ratio, and better health benefits. The locations impacted: Providence, St. Vincent, Newburgh, Willamette Falls, Medford, Hood River, and Milwaukee.
Be respecting their right to do that as we continue to provide care for our patients.
But now, just days out, Providence claims union tactics could be hindering their ability to continue providing patient care during the strike. Here's Jennifer Gentry, the Central Division Chief Nursing Officer with Providence.
This isn't a shop floor. This is a hospital. And we have patient lives in our hands. And so our words really matter, and we're asking for respect for that.
Providence is addressing an ONA letter which calls on all nurses to stand in solidarity and to not accept travel nurse contracts scheduled to start in June or July. Providence announced last week that their facilities would remain open during the strike and that they'd fill those gaps with replacement workers.
The world of replacement nurses, if they feel intimidated or if they're feeling like this isn't a place that they're welcome to come or they are safe to come, then it's possible they wouldn't choose to accept those contracts, and that could negatively impact patient care.
The union pushing back in a statement, writing that if Providence were truly concerned about recklessness and patient safety, they would not have cut off negotiations early and would be at the bargaining table right now. And ONA says a call to not cross the picket line is standard practice for all unions engaged in strike action. Providence doesn't have final numbers on replacement nurses, but says come Tuesday, patients should still expect the same level of care.
We want our patients to know that they shouldn't hesitate to come to us if they have a need. We'll be here for them, and our doors will be open.
That was Alma McCarty reporting. The union Friday sent a cease and desist letter to Providence saying it was violating the safe staffing law. ONA says Providence is adopting staffing plans without consulting other nurses. Providence told us late Friday that they intend to follow the law as written. Some shellfish harvesting is back open on the coast. The Oregon Department of Agriculture announced razor clams can once again be commercially harvested, but bay clams and mussels still aren't considered safe. 3 weeks ago, high levels of biotoxin in shellfish started making people sick. That halted recreational and commercial harvesting and had restaurants throwing out shellfish from certain areas.
I think the most difficult part for us has been like that public facing piece and explaining to people why we don't have oysters.
The lifting of the oyster harvesting ban came just a day before Oyster Fest in Tillamook. A traffic alert for the Interstate Bridge. All northbound lanes will close tonight starting at 11, and so crews can perform sign maintenance. During that time, Washington-bound drivers should take I-84 east to I-205 north across the Glenn Jackson Bridge. The span is scheduled to reopen by 7 Sunday morning. Celebrations underway in Portland ahead of Juneteenth. While it was recognized as a federal holiday only 3 years ago, a woman named Clara Peoples brought the celebration to the Rose City 52 years ago. Juneteenth celebrates the day African slaves in Galveston, Texas found out they were emancipated. Today, our Sydney Dorner got to see how the parade people started is still going strong.
This Saturday, 1,500 people marched along MLK Drive in honor of Juneteenth. The people I spoke to say their mission is clear, celebrating the freedom of emancipated slaves, but also celebrating Black leaders here in Portland. Energy was high this year at the 52nd annual Clara Peoples Freedom Trail Parade, also known as Juneteenth, Oregon. The celebration started right near the Martin Luther King School in Northeast Portland and ended at Lillis Albina Park. The event isn't just a celebration, but also a mentorship program and pageant for young women 6 to 19. Miss Juneteenth 2023 and 2024, Princess Fletcher, says the Black community should be uplifted more than just 1 month a year.
We have like February, and that's not really enough, you know, and there's Juneteenth where we celebrate like our freedom and how beautiful and bright our culture is. And I feel like that just brings so much beauty to the community, especially here in Portland, where it's so diverse.
This diversity didn't come easy. Organizer for the parade, Heather Coleman Cox, says Oregon once had exclusionary laws that prohibited Black people from moving into the state. She says celebrations like this show how far we've come.
Those laws stayed on the books until 1926, so it's very important in this state to show unity, to show that the Black citizens are welcome.
Between the live bands, cheerleaders, and even clowns, you could just feel how much fun people were having. Nikki Brown Clown spends her time pouring into the Black youth here in Portland as a literacy advocate and entertainer. She says this is one of her favorite days of the year.
It feels phenomenal. It's like a homecoming for us, and it just feels great to be completely celebrated and embraced.
Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
An extra special graduation in Corvallis. Oregon State University says a record number of students graduated today at more than 7,600. NFL running back and former Beaver Steven Jackson gave today's commencement address. Congratulations to all of those grads. Coming up tonight, a Washington blood bank is looking to state lawmakers to resolve a historic and nationwide shortage in donors. Plus,
the demand is astronomical.
Weight loss drugs can get pricey, and people are now trying knockoff versions. We take a look at whether they are safe. Stay tuned. Back, let's take a look at your national headlines. A suspect is at large following a shooting in Rochester Hills, Michigan today that left possibly up to 10 people hurt. It happened sometime after 6 this afternoon at a splash pad. Authorities say they believe they have a possible suspect contained in a home nearby. They also say a handgun and 3 empty magazines were recovered. No information on the condition of the victims have been released at this time. In a controversial decision, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled to strike down a Trump-era ban on what are known as bump stocks. They allow semi-automatic rifles to fire more quickly. Former President Trump issued an executive order banning them after the U.S. saw its deadliest mass shooting at a concert near the Vegas Strip. In a 6-3 ruling, the conservative justices ruled bump stocks do not fit the technical definition of a machine gun, which is banned under federal law. Speaker Mike Johnson says the House will go to court to enforce a subpoena against Attorney General Merrick Garland. It's after the DOJ refused to prosecute Republicans' contempt of Congress charge against Garland. President Biden asserted executive privilege to block enforcement of the subpoena, specifically access to Biden's special counsel audio interview. He accused Republicans of seeking it only for political purposes. Weight loss drugs like Ozempic are skyrocketing in popularity, but with costs upwards of $1,000 a month and limited insurance coverage options, some people are trying to find cheaper alternatives. Our Seattle sister station reached out to the Washington Poison Center for some answers on what's safe and what's not.
Ozempic and Wegovy are brand name drugs originally designed for diabetes patients because of their effectiveness in regulating blood sugar and reducing appetite. They're now frequently prescribed for weight loss.
The demand is astronomical.
Jimmy Leonard is a managing director of the Washington Poison Center. He has a background in pharmacy and toxicology. He says along with Ozempic's popularity comes a risk of accessing knockoff versions that can make you sick.
We are seeing cases here in the state of Washington. I reviewed about 6 months worth of cases.
The Poison Center takes calls about any overdose concerns, and Leonard says they saw the number of weight loss drug-related calls double this year so far compared to 2022 and 2023. Over the past 6 months, they've received 60 calls about this.
The big things that we're seeing are nausea and vomiting and essentially food intolerance.
Ozempic and Wegovy are drugs known as semaglutides.
It helps increase your body's release of insulin when you eat food, right? So that was part of it, so that you had more insulin to help maintain your blood sugar in a normal range.
And the drug given as an injection has been exceptionally effective in weight loss.
It's really the demand that has pushed people and its shortages, right? So the drug company was trying to manufacture as much as they possibly can and has just not been able to keep up with astronomical demand for it.
Off-brand versions have since emerged. Leonard says some of these versions are compound medications, which is when ingredients are combined or altered to create a medication tailored to the needs of a patient.
The compound versions, these so-called knockoff versions, are they effective and safe to use?
It's really unclear at this point, right? The most of the time when we hear about them is when somebody had something go wrong.
Blood banks across the nation have reported frequent shortages. In Washington, one of them is trying to build a base of younger donors. BloodWorks Northwest is working with lawmakers on a bill that would add education on blood donations into school curriculums to encourage teens to donate. They're also pushing for a measure that would put your blood type on your driver's license. They say the need for blood is only growing.
For a long time, we depended upon a population that was familiar with World War II and had come out of that era, and they understood the importance of blood donation as a community and even as a national activity. Our recent campaigns and our attempts to connect with younger donors in particular to make sure that they understand.
This is part of a national effort. The American Red Cross says it has seen an all-time low in donors and that donations have dropped 40% over the last 20 years. Well, turning now to the weather, like you said at the beginning of the show, we saw pretty much everything today at one point in time.
We're not quite there. It's summer yet, so we can still see some spring weather, and we've been seeing it basically. Take your pick of what you want. You want sunshine? We got that. Showers, check. Thunderstorms, check. And snow, check. And there's going to be a few more snow showers and a little more active weather heading into tomorrow. Although I think we're done with the heavy snow showers that we have been seeing throughout the Oregon Cascades, at least for tonight. Now, this is a kind of an unstable system that's been bringing us all that activity here the last several hours. I know some of us woke up to some sunshine and not that much rain, but others did see a good amount of showers at times today. That's kind of what the setup is for heading into tomorrow as well. The yellows and those oranges, again, that are kind of pushing off to the east and the foothills of the mountains, those could be bringing in a little bit of some areas of hail as well with some of these heavy downpours and the potential to see some lightning strikes and thunderstorms, which we were picking up along the east side of Multnomah County earlier this afternoon. Tonight, right right around 9 o'clock will dry out as we look at the futurecast. We'll put this into motion. I'm expecting to see basically a dry start to your Sunday, and for Father's Day, you might want to plan those activities earlier in the day, because by the early part of the afternoon, we'll start to see those showers increase a little bit. And with those showers, there will be some thunderstorms potentially in a few locations. But late tomorrow night by 6:37, we'll see drier conditions along the Oregon coast, and a chance to see some spotty showers heading into Monday. But all in all, the heaviest amount of rain we could see will be from these cells that could be producing some thunderstorms and heavy downpours at times tonight and a little bit into tomorrow. For the most part, though, we are going to be looking at some calm conditions heading into a good portion of the week and more summer-like weather. Showers tonight with a chance to see some areas of thunderstorms. Overnight lows will be dropping down into the upper 40s. Along the Oregon coast, overcast skies right now along the northern part of the beaches with a temperature of 57 degrees. Here in the metro area, we got a few people still golfing out there. Got a couple hours left of the daylight with the sunset just after 9 o'clock. Out in the reserve in Aloha, temperature of 62 degrees at this hour. And so far for the month of June, we're sitting pretty good in terms of rainfall amounts. We're actually at a surplus for the time being, not by much though, by just over 1/10 of an inch. And then heading into the later part of next week, some models are suggesting that's when we could be seeing another round of some showers. So even though it's June, and this is the middle June, I should say, and we typically see some sunny and warm conditions move in, doesn't mean we're done with the rain just yet. Tomorrow, mainly dry to start things off. We could be seeing some spotty showers at times throughout the later part of the morning. Into the afternoon, once we get into the I'd say about 11:30, 12 o'clock tomorrow, we could be looking at those showers picking up and those thunderstorms. But as we look at what's going to happen over the next few days on the futurecast, we'll have this ridge of high pressure really start to develop by the middle part of next week. And we're going to be looking at daytime highs in the low to mid 80s starting Wednesday, and basically a 3-4 day stretch with temperatures right around 80, 85 degrees or so. One day is going to be a little bit warmer than that. The beach forecast tomorrow, we're going to be seeing temperatures right around the upper 50s to low 60s by midday, early part of the afternoon, topping out right around 58, 63 degrees. Now, throughout the valley, you're going to be seeing some scattered showers at times with the chance to see some thunderstorms, and there could be a little bit of some snow showers at times. This is a live look now outside Timberline Lodge, mid-June, and we're still seeing those snow showers pile up. On your 7-day forecast, it looks like this. Tomorrow, a chance to see some thunderstorms develop, a few spotty showers for Monday, and then for Tuesday, temperatures in the mid-70s. Wednesday and beyond, a lot of sunshine and a little bit warmer temperatures. John?
All right, Joe, thank you. We're ready to see those warmer temps. Well, still to come, less than 2 months until the Olympic Games, and this weekend our focus is on the pool. Orlando wraps up today's swimming trials with some of the locals who were competing.
Is good, everyone. T-minus 40 days until the Olympic Games, and before Paris, the attention turns to the pool in Indianapolis this weekend. Lucas Oil Stadium, home of the Indianapolis Colts, the site of the U.S. swim trials. The headliner, 7-time Olympic champion, Katie Ledecky. She took care of business in the 400-meter freestyle, dominating the final in a time of 3:58.35, almost 4 seconds faster than second place, qualifying for her 4th Olympics, just the 8th in the sport to ever do that. The work isn't over either. The 27-year-old will be competing all week long, trying to qualify in 3 other events. Now, there are a few local connections in the pool. Aloha High School star Caitlin Dobler is competing at trials, representing the Dolphins swim team in Portland. She'll compete in the 100 breaststroke tomorrow. Dobler is seated 3rd in that event. She's also competing in the women's 200 breaststroke Wednesday. Dobler won multiple state titles and set a national record during her time at Aloha High School. She swims for USC, where she won a national championship. The Dolphin swim team has 3 competing at trials. Daniel Roy, on the right there, made it to the semifinals of the 100 breaststroke today. He finished 11th. He'll also swim Tuesday in the 200 breaststroke, where he's seated 6th. 16-year-old Andrew Eubanks, a state champion still at Nelson High School, is also in Tuesday's prelims for the 200-meter breaststroke. So look out. Lakeridge High School alum and former Portland pilot Cooper Hummel just got called up to the show, added to the Houston Astros 40-man roster. Hummel made his first appearance with the Astros today in a loss to the Tigers, going 0 for 1 at the plate. Hummel was with AAA Sugarland this season, hitting .301 with the Space Cowboys. The Portland Timbers don't play until Wednesday at San Jose, but they'll be without a few key players for a while. Representing their home countries at Copa America, Max Crepeau and Kamal Miller are joining Team Canada, while Miguel Araujo will be with Peru. Copa America begins June 20th and runs through July 14th. So it's awesome to see them get to represent their home countries and do big things, but at the same time, the Timbers are like, okay, we got to dig into the bench, we got to go deep here and still take care of business. So congrats to those guys.
Congrats to them, and good luck to the local athletes that are fighting for a spot on the Olympics teams. And it's coming up quick, 40 days away.
Yeah, it's always fun to have so many locals involved to root for. Like, we know the stars like Ledecky, but to see a few that did their thing here at the high school level.
That's a lot of fun
and
to
now
watch.
Have a chance to do it on the biggest stage of all is amazing.
For sure. They could be the next stars.
Yeah, for sure.
That's for sure. All right, quick check. What do we have this
We got a few clouds, and some of those clouds will be bringing in some showers, some thunderstorms, maybe some hail, a few spotty showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. But once we head into Tuesday and beyond, sunny and warm.